And a good evening to all, and welcome to another tropical update from the Cayman Hurricane Center. Now, folks, this will be an overall update of the Atlantic Basin. Of course, we did a update on Hurricane Francine, so please visit our earlier video this evening for the full updates on the Francine. But folks, it's an overall look at everything across the Atlantic. And so here is the satellite imagery here, thanks to Tropical Tidbits there, Levi Cowan's site there. You can see on the IR satellite imagery here of all the systems that we are monitoring, and a couple areas that we're keeping a close eye on as well. So, obviously, we could see our Hurricane Francine there in the Gulf of Mexico. We have 92L that we're monitoring here in the main development region, 93L that's located right here. We're also keeping a close eye on a little small area of low pressure that is just to the west-southwest of 92L. We do have a few tropical waves that are out there at this time that we're keeping an eye on, but no immediate developments here. We've got a tropical wave that is near Jamaica, Cuba, and the Western Caribbean. That'll push on westbound. We'll have another tropical wave that's located in the Eastern Caribbean there. Do you have a tropical wave that is sort of intertwined with our 93L? This is sort of a complex feature with area of low pressure with this tropical wave, another little area of low pressure down here. And what's going to end up happening is that these two are going to merge somewhere as that moves off here. We're going to have that and that come together. And we also have another tropical wave over Western Africa that we're going to be keeping an eye on. So, folks, things are looking pretty busy out there in the Atlantic at this point in time. So just having a quick look at some of these areas, particularly 92L and 93L. Again, do visit the update video earlier about Francine for the full advisory package on that. We'll have another one either later tonight or tomorrow with Francine as well. So just having a quick look here, folks. So this is our system 92L. And we're going to be watching this closely as we do go forward. There's still a chance here that we could see some development out of this as this progresses generally westbound across the region. Here, we certainly note that of recent there's been a bit of an increase of the convective thunderstorm activity in and around this system. There is a bit of a spin associated with this, it's a bit elongated, but we do have the rotation coming in here. We do also have some rotation coming in here. And again, the latest figures of 92L would put this system thereabouts near 14.8, 42.5. And so that would be roughly within this vicinity here. And indeed, we do see in the low-level cloud fields and before sunset, as well as satellite wind data, that does clearly show that there is a circulation. Convectively, again, it's been kind of on, off, but we'll keep an eye on it nevertheless. It should progress generally westwards on into the Caribbean, so we'll be watching closely with that. Conditions in the immediate term are marginally favorable for development. As it gets nearer to the Leeward and Windward Islands, conditions may be a little bit more hostile there. But either way, we are still looking at some showers and thunderstorms and maybe some gusty winds for the Leeward and Windward Islands. Moving on to our other system here, 93L, which again is a little bit more better defined here. Uh, it's still rather large and broad here. Uh, Again, we do have our broad turning of our tropical wave here, but we can see within that there is some low level turning that is going on here with this system. Again, it's still a little bit broad as we do have that trough of low pressure that's sitting here as well. And then you have this area of low pressure here. And so what's going to end up happening here, folks, is that as this system moves generally west to west northwest, this is going to wrap around and merge into this system as it moves through the eastern and central portions of the main development region. So going back to our area here, again, 92L, and located right in, right in here. Again, it's been convectively going up and down a little bit here, but it is still somewhat maintaining that convective thunderstorm activity. Now, folks, again, as I noted, we do have a small area of low pressure right here, and it does have a pretty good circulation associated with it coming in like so. And we could see a little bit in the cloud deck there, this area of low. Now, we'll be keeping an eye on it whilst the models don't necessarily develop this particular low pressure area. As it traverses on west, we could see maybe a little bit of development out of it. Conditions, again, once it gets into here, are a little bit more hostile, so that would limit any further development, maybe until it gets into the Western Caribbean, where conditions are a little bit more favorable. Maybe getting into a CAG system there, something that we've been noting that the models have been kind of picking up on, but again, the same goes for 92L. Eventually, the system will track generally westwards towards the islands, and again, we'll be watching for any development between then. But again, getting into this area, conditions are a little bit more hostile there. But regardless of, both of these systems should be causing some showers and thunderstorms for those areas. Now, the satellite imagery here, again, you could see a little bit of that rotation going on in both our systems here, 92L with the rotation in there. Of course, a much tighter, more organized rotation here. Pretty surprised that even that's not designated as a tropical depression. It could very well take that title, as it is a very tight, organized area of low pressure. Does have the convective thunderstorm activity. So it is a little bit surprising that we don't have that at this time. But nevertheless, we're going to continue to monitor that as we go. So again, for our system 93L, again, we expect that to eventually traverse generally west, west, northwest across the main development region. We'll keep an eye on that. Again, here's our next tropical wave that is entering the western portions of Africa. That'll come off Africa, and we'll have to watch for any potential development out of that. But, folks, that is what we got at this time. And again, we'll be back with further updates of the Atlantic as a whole coming tomorrow. That's all from me, and that's all from the Cayman Hurricane Center. We'll be back again later for Francine.